New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
What's going on? This is JLS from Nick of Time Show, here to give you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. And once again, the Knicks lose 108-123 to the championship contending Philadelphia 76ers. RJ Barrett gives you 30 points, 7 assists, and 6 rebounds. Gunshots for the RJ Barrett, because let's be clear, guys. Let's be clear. The only reason we're watching right now is to watch RJ Barrett. And so shout out to RJ Barrett. And Julius Randle also chips in with some meaningless points, but really who cares? But and we saw Deuce McBride play 1 minute of basketball. So gunshots in the air for Deuce McBride getting in the game for the last minute of basketball. That's probably the other best thing that happened today. All right. But yeah, shout out the Knicks lose once again, and we're here to talk about the goods, the bads, and the ugly. It's mostly ugly, but hopefully this is a turning point, because I am tired of talking about these veterans. What about you? I don't know about you guys, but I just am. I'm tired about it at this moment. But yeah, okay. Yeah, man, and it is tradition here at the KOT show. When we lose, that Ryan G reads these stats and facts. Go ahead.
All right. So, as JL so eloquently put it, the 76ers lost. 76ers won 123-108. Mm-hmm. I wish I could have said the 76ers lost, but the Knicks lost. Mm-hmm. Again. Yeah. RJ Barrett, 30 points, 23 from the field, 3 of 8 from 3. Mm-hmm. 7 of 8 from the free throw line, so that was pretty good for RJ Barrett.
I'll take it.
7 assists, 6 rebounds. Randle, 24 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. We have Quickly, 11 points, 2 assists. Mitchell Robinson, 10 points, 7 rebounds. And like Ellis said, a minute and 15 seconds. It feels like a season high for McBride, because we don't remember the last time that man gets minutes. So
yeah,
that's it. We just gonna call that season high.
Season high, 3 points. I think it's maybe the second half of the season high. No. He gave us what? He gave us what? 19 in Houston. He gave us 19 in Houston.
I know. I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah.
because last time McBride played, so yeah, 1 minute 15 seconds season high.
He's dropping 30s. He's dropping 30s in Westchester though. Did you see him play last night? He was going all the way off in Westchester. Gee.
Yeah, man. This man's a Westchester Knicks G League legend. Yet this man can't find no minutes in the NBA with this. Oh boy, I'm gonna do the minute rundown, because we need something to laugh about. So let's do the minute rundown.
Let's do it.
RJ Barrett, 40 minutes. Okay, I can live with that.
I can live with that
too. Randle 33 minutes. That's a bit low for Randle.
Yeah, but 30 minutes too much.
Yeah, 30 minutes too much. Yeah. Mitchell Robinson, 21 minutes. I guess. Burks, 30 minutes. That's 30 minutes too much.
Definitely 30 minutes too much.
Fournier, 26 minutes and 45 seconds. With the way he played tonight, that's 20 minutes too much.
Yeah. I'd rather see Ryan at that point. Not you, Ryan. The other Ryan that came in.
Yeah, the other Ryan. Yeah. Sims, 12 minutes and 50 seconds. I guess that's pretty high for Sims. It could be a little higher.
Could be. It should have been, but...
Yeah. Quickly, 20 minutes. I guess that's pretty decent for Quickly.
He's a young guy. Even though people want to see him ride, I still want him to get minutes. So
yeah, true that. Reddish, 23 minutes.
Foul trouble kept him in check.
Yeah, could have been a little bit more. Taj Gibson, 13 minutes and 49 seconds. Well, bruh. I like Taj, but at this point in the season, 13 minutes too much. I'm sorry.
I'm with that.
Toppin, 15 minutes. Could be a bit more for Toppin.
Even though it seems like yeah.
Like maybe about 10 minutes more.
It feels like a season high. I'm not even gonna lie. It feels like a season high.
Yeah, it feels like a season high for Toppin, for real. Now we're gonna get the team stats right quick. So
you know
Knicks
what?
Out rebounded.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
All right. The Knicks out rebounded the Sixers 52-51. The Knicks had 9 steals, which was pretty impressive. They forced 14 turnovers from the Sixers, but the difference was really the shooting because the Knicks could not stop a nosebleed tonight. The Sixers shot 52% from the field, 47% from three.
Yeah, and that's all she wrote there. Listen, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Like I said before, I'm only looking at these games for RJ Barrett right now. And whenever the coach decides to put in McBride and these other guys, I'm gonna be looking at that right now. And what I saw today from RJ Barrett was once again another example of why this kid is becoming the leader of this team. We kind of already saw. If you've been watching the MSG practice after practice videos on YouTube, he's already kind of been explaining that he's taking more of a vocal leadership role. He's not just leading by example, but now he's talking to Toppin and Quickly and things of that nature. And I feel like that's what these Knicks are doing. I feel like the Knicks are pushing him to do those things. And we need that. And the thing that stood out to me when he said that was not only is he able to talk to them about things that are going wrong, but they're also able to give feedback to him and let him know when he should step it up. And I feel like that's essential for where this team needs to go, because that's something I feel like we can't do with Randall at this point. You see when people try to calm him down, he's smacking computers and hands away. So it's nice. It's nice to see a level-headed young 21-year-old taking the lead for these Knicks. And today, once again, he led by example. He led with his passion. And even though we didn't win the game, this is the step you want to see from a guy like RJ Barrett. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most definitely.
Right, and I'm gonna get into the details of this game. So the things I liked about RJ's game today are things that we haven't seen before, and it's things that, like I said, when he first came to this league, there were certain shortcomings. And one of the shortcomings were, he wasn't going to be able to produce well off the dribble. I remember seeing him dribbling, having an ice move against James Harden, getting by him, and drawing a foul. Something they said he was not be able to do. He might not be able to do at this level. Creating off the dribble with no screens, mind you, and that's something big that we need from this team. We really don't have people on this team who can get you a bucket, let alone a foul shot or a clean shot, with while just taking their man straight up off of the dribble with no team. I think every team really needs that, and he's done that today. We've also saw him do pull up jumpers from the 3-point line. Something else that we didn't think he could do. Like they was talking about he had a hitch in his shot for the first year in the NBA. He got rid of the hitch, and now he's hitting pull-up jumpers from the 3-point line. He's hitting mid-range jumpers. Also, we've seen Mitch complaining that he's not getting the ball enough. First play of the game, what do you see, Ryan? We see Mitch getting the ball. Exactly. Go. Pick and roll with Mitch. I feel like I see Mitch get the ball more this game and in the last few games. So RJ is indeed legit, and he's looking like a complete player when he's playing like this, scoring on all 3 levels, going to the foul line, actually hitting his foul shot, 7 of 8 from 3. He's looking like a promising young player, and like Jimmy Butler said, the eventual face of this franchise. Anything to add about RJ Barrett?
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much said it all right there. RJ Barrett is definitely the bright spot for the Knicks at the moment. He's definitely learning how to score at all levels. I've definitely been impressed with his finishing at the rim, because that was an issue for him his first couple of years in the league, and the fact that he's finishing at the rim much stronger, that's definitely adding to his game. And the fact that he's hitting mid-range, he's hitting from 3, and also, like, I don't understand why Thibs doesn't go to it more with the pick and roll with Mitch and RJ, because they went to a good 3 times at the beginning of the game, I believe, and it actually produced good results. Yeah. And I feel like if you want to get the best out of Mitch, I do think you have to try to feed him early, get him some easy dunks, and get him engaged in the game. and I think you're going to get the best out of Mitch that as well. So, and the fact to also see RJ, become a better playmaker also, actually, driving to the basket, finding the open man at the three and stuff like that. Like, RJ is definitely growing as a player, and you definitely see all-star at least written all over RJ right now.
Yeah, it seems like I know Alec Burks is playing the ceremonial point guard role, but for me, when I was looking at the actions that was going on in that first quarter, that first half, it felt like RJ Barrett was pretty much the point guard for much of that first half. And I felt like he was the one who was really setting the table for his teammates. Like, even I saw like a pick and roll with him and Randall, which is something I don't really see a lot, but I saw it hit today. And if he's hitting the three like that the way he is, because he's punishing teams for dropping off 3-point shots, and he's hitting that mid range, then you can start to run pick and roll with RJ or Randall and have Randall be more of a roll man sometimes and get teams in trouble, because Randall's had a propensity of, like, he has a reputation for being a great finisher for his entire career. You know what I mean? But even though he hasn't been finishing well here as of late. All right. So, I mean, that, and also, what else is interesting? I saw Ryan G, the second unit. The second unit has been an enigma for a while, right?
Yeah.
There was a portion of the game, especially in the first half, when the second unit got going, and quickly was in the game along with RJ and Cam, and but like, did you notice like how the second unit was rolling? Like, did you peep something?
Well, in the first half, I think what the second unit did well was they were swarming on defense. That was the first thing they did well in the first half. That's what helped the Knicks get that lead to begin with. They were swarming on defense. They were turning the ball over, and then they were taking advantage because that Philly second unit had no big man in the middle.
Right.
So they were constantly attacking the rim and getting easy baskets, and they were taking advantage that way. But now in the second half, it was a completely different story, because I feel like the Sixers were actually taking advantage of matchups, because I think there was a few times within the second half where I think it was like RJ Barrett would be on Harden, and then they would switch Harden. Like, they would run pick and roll, and then they would switch either Toppin on Harden, or another defender on Harden. And then Harden would just take advantage of that matchup, and that was killing the Knicks. And then I think also at the same time, because this is a game where Toppin played really bad, especially defensively, because there was also times when they had Harris on the court when the Sixers had that second unit playing as well. And then when Toppin was on Harris, Knicks would bring a double team towards Harris.
Right.
And then the Sixers swung the ball around, and then I think Maxey was killing them as well in the second half. It was like a Harris-Maxey combination.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just feel like the Sixers kind of like staggered their minutes to where they would have like Harden, Maxey, and these guys on the floor while the Knicks had their second unit out there, and the Sixers just increased the lead and killed the Knicks that way.
I guess I'll tell you what I saw. I mean, first they were switching Obi on Harden before. Like, that was the game 10 before. And actually, I feel like Obi did a better job in the first game switching on Harden than this game.
Yeah, first game, yeah.
Yeah. But what I noticed, especially in the first half, because RJ was playing point guard, a lot of point guard in that first unit. The second unit success, I feel like RJ was playing a lot of point guard when the second unit went on that run. That's what I was noticing, and it felt like RJ was playing being a lot more the playmaker, and quickly was kind of being more of the kind of shooting guard. Because it's good to see Quickly actually start to hit shots once again. He scored 21 points the other game. The second time this season he scored 21 points or more. And usually what I've been saying is, sometimes he'll have a bad shooting game, but he will have like a good overall game. Today, I felt like he had a good shooting game, but his overall game wasn't really hitting. He was getting killed by Maxey. He wasn't really setting up everybody else. And there was a key point in that third quarter when the offense got stagnant, and I felt like that's when Quickie was playing more of the point guard role over RJ. And I know a lot of people are like, it's funny because I feel like what's happening now too with the Knicks fans is people want McBride, and I want McBride as well. But I feel like there's starting to be like a McBride versus Quickley thing instead of a McBride and Quickley thing. Like, cause both of these guys are young players, and both of these guys need minutes, and I feel like that's a Tom issue and not a player issue. We already know Quickley has his flaws, but he's not always making the correct decisions. But I feel like people are kind of going too hard on Quickley because they want McBride, and that's not Quickley's fault. That's freaking Tom's fault.
Yeah, pretty much. And I think what people should be striving for is not to do McBride versus Quickley, because let's be real for a second here. McBride is a point guard. That's what he was in college. He has the skill set to be a point guard. That's what he is. Quickley, because I think we discussed it the other day with Raw. Because if you watch Quickley in college, he played alongside Maxey.
Right.
Maxey was more the point guard. Quickley was more the two guard. So you have to think of Quickley in that mold. So it's like people shouldn't be thinking about McBride versus Quickley. What people should be thinking about is playing McBride and Quickley together alongside each other.
Yeah.
Where McBride is getting minutes, and then Quickley is playing alongside him, where Quickley is more comfortable playing in that role. So, people shouldn't really be pitting them against each other. But yeah, you watch Quickley tonight, it's clear that, Quickley's not the prototypical point guard. Like, he still struggles when he's put as the point guard. He struggles in that role. Yeah,
like, I don't know what's going on. Like, there was a point where last season he wasn't picking up his dribble in the paint last season like he is this season. Like, he did it in spots, but I feel like he's gotten a lot of trouble where he's dribbling, not looking at the clock, gets caught right in that paint area, and then he kind of just throws the ball for turnovers. And he needs to cut that out of his game completely, because he wasn't really doing that like that this last season. But, like, ultimately, like, I still like Quickley as a player, and I still like McBride as a player. McBride was lighting up the G League the other day. He's certainly looking ready. I want to see McBride playing a lot more point guard, especially more than Burks at this point. But, like, we're going to eventually have to make decisions on all young pieces, because we have a bunch of young pieces. But I still just don't want it to be a McBride versus Quickley thing. I want to give McBride his place to run the team, and Quickley has a role. Right now, he's like a part-time point guard who can run guard in spots sometimes. He seems a lot more comfortable running alongside a playmaker, and the Knicks are trying to form him to something else. Right now, it's really up and down. And and we just have to wait and see how that comes into fruition. But at the end of the day, McBride still needs to be with the big boys. Shout out to McBride to play a huge total of 1 minute today. All right, scorching 3 points for McBride. All right,
exactly. But here's my thing. Here's my thing, because this is where, if I had the opportunity, I would really love to pick Thibs' mind and what he's thinking, because, all right, because, like, say, for example, okay, McBride is dropping 30 a game in the G League, and say that the NBA, like, that's equivalent to, like, 1/3 of the production. So, if you do the math, like, McBride's going to give you at least 10 points, maybe 3 assists or something like that as a point guard. We're not getting that from Burks. So, I'm like, if he's dropping so much points in the G League, and he's showing, like, what, does McBride not know the offense? Like, is he struggling learning the plays?
I don't get it.
What is what is really keeping him from getting playing time at this point, and keeping Burks out there, and Burks not giving you little to nothing at the point guard position, and Quickley struggles as a point guard. So I really would love to pick Thibs' mind as to what is the real reason as to why McBride doesn't get minutes? And then he wants to tell McBride that he's a rookie and has to wait for his opportunity. But I don't remember that same thing applying to Quickly last season.
I don't remember either.
Quickly got burned as soon as the season started.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can attribute it to, maybe the rosters were different and it was an opening for Quickly as opposed to there being an opening for McBride this season. But it's like, the Knicks are 12 games under 500. We're getting little to nothing from the point guard position. Like, why do you not give this guy a chance? Like, I'm baffled, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. Like today, once again, Alec Burks played point guard, but I don't know if he even played that much point guard really. But
yeah,
but still, 2-11, 18% from the field, 25% from three. And this guy has been. And it's not Burks' fault. Like I don't want to like down. This is Tibbs' fault because Burks is a decent player when used correctly. We're not using him correctly, so I don't want to make this a Burks burn session because it's not his fault. It really isn't. It really isn't. This is all on the coach.
At this point, there's a number of players being used miscorrectly on the Knicks right now. A number of players.
Exactly. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I want to get man. There's some other players I want to talk about too. Well, Mitch Sims and Cam Reddish. I think I want to touch you on tonight. Mitch Sims and Cam Reddish. But before we talk about Mitch and Sims and Cam Reddish and the possible Elfrid Payton revenge game coming up, let me shout out the people in the chat, and I'm gonna go to the first caller. All right. Shout out to Ja354. Shout out to Picks for Timmy. Shout out to Sayara84. Shout out to Angel J56. And shout out to RJDs and Ricardo Custer. And also, you already know what it is. I gotta give the gunshot to BKNY. This is a $5 super chat, and thank you because the super chats help us keep the lights on. It helps us pay for the phones, helps us pay for Zoom, helps us pay for everything. All right, but shout out to you. He says Star J is born. 9 God haters repent. Tough loss, but good news for the tank. Trade vets, play the kids, fire Tisdale campaign. The Fire Tisdale campaign is catching fire. Is a whole movement going on, and I don't even know. It's funny because I'm looking at analysts. Even Tommy was here. I feel like a few of them are saying that they feel like Tom Thibodeau is going to be fired in the summer. I'm not so sure if he's going to be fired in the summer. Like, I kind of feel like they're friends still, and they might try to push him to play younger players, and I feel like, if anything, he might get fired next season, in the middle of the season, if anything. That's my gut. That's what my gut is saying. But
I don't know. My gut keeps changing because I feel like this is going to make it to next season, but I don't know. Because say, for example, because I'm looking at the Knicks schedule. Say, for example, the Knicks really going in a free-for-all, and it's nothing but L's just keep piling up. I think I could see Thibs getting fired if that's the case, honestly. If the L's just keep piling up like crazy.
I get, yeah, maybe. I guess I can see it. I guess so. I don't know. I just feel like they're boys, so I feel like they're gonna give him like a little bit more of a chance. But like, there's a danger happening. There's a danger happening because of the Mitch Sims situation and because of the Cam Reddish situation. Because we got to see Cam Reddish play a little bit more today, and it seems like he's getting a little bit more comfortable. And you're starting to see offensively, he's catching a flow. He's been passing the ball. He's been finishing at the rim, and guys like Cam Reddish, guys like Obi Toppin, those are the guys who need a little bit more runway to catch a rhythm. And if he's not able to do that next season, once again, we're talking about these draft picks that we used to get him here will be a waste. So firing Tibbs might be saving us draft picks pretty much. That's the way I might, unless Tibbs dramatically changes his ways, which I don't see happening, or the front office just puts a gun to his head in the form in the form of losing your job. Like that's the only thing I can really see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh man. But salute to the chat, man. Shout out to Sang Freud. Shout out to Picks with Timmy, Angel. If you're new to the channel, I feel like we got a whole bunch of new subscriptions lately. Please hit that hashtag new. And also, you know, if you're new to the channel, you haven't subscribed yet, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. And you know what? After the show too, please comment. The comments and the likes and the subscribes help us move up in the rankings and get this channel pushing into the right direction. All right. So first caller up. No Fritz tonight. So I'm handling the phones. So I'm not sure who's on the phone right now, but we all gonna find out together. All right. So first caller up.
Hey, what's up, fellas? This is Big Reaper. Thanks for taking my call.
What's going on, Big Reaper?
Doing?
All right.
Hey, man.
Yeah, honestly, I wanted to start off with some positives tonight. Obviously, I'm really liking RJ Barrett. The fact he's becoming a better playmaker. He had like 7 assists tonight, so he looked pretty good.
He looked really good.
You guys are saying so. Yeah, it's just the only thing is like it's and I think he got this from Randall, is the turnovers. He's actually, in my opinion, he's becoming as bad as Randall because there's some things he does that's similar to Randall, and I think he just needs to cut it out. Some of the turnovers he has is kind of usually sometimes it's similar to Randall's turnovers. It's not like the ones where he dribbles into traffic. It's more of like, like not, like his outlet passes. He kind of like, he doesn't always pass to the right guy. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of his outlet passes get picked off a lot of times when he gets into the lane, and he draws a double team. So I think that's something he needs to work on. So, okay. But I like, I definitely like how he's been playing. Obviously, the other thing is the efficiency. That's mostly, I think, a lot of it was because towards the end of the game he was pressing, but he really does need to improve his efficiency because it's still pretty bad.
43% today. That wasn't super bad, but like I see what you're saying. It's once he's
shooting 42% on the season, so that's not good for
for 2 more percent. I feel like you're 2% away from being legit. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like once you hit 45% and you're a wing player, then we can rock with that. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I see it.
Yeah. But for your team to be really good, you want to be above 45%. But hey, we'll see. Yeah. I think he may get there, but and actually it seems like it's like I did really like how he played today. It's like normally early in the season, I kind of felt like he didn't have very good court awareness and seemed lost a lot, but he actually looked really good today on the defensive end. I mean, we couldn't stop anybody over there on the Sixers side, but I do like, he was in the right spots most of the time, and I felt like, he was able to challenge, did a good job trying to challenge Embiid.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so he was pretty good. Yeah.
I just hold on. I'm gonna just say one. I'm gonna just say this. He's getting the rookie treatment from the rest bad, man. he's getting it bad. Where like he'll make the right play in the right rotation and he'll still get called for the foul. And like honestly, I feel like he should have got way more than 12 minutes today because like you said, I feel like he played pretty good on that side of the ball.
Yeah. I agree. And the thing is like honestly because he was so bad, I felt like he was so bad early in the season. Obviously now it's like at first I thought maybe he just doesn't have he doesn't have the knack for defense, playing good defense. But I just think it was just getting used to the speed of the game. So that's on Tibbs. That's his fault.
Hey, you gotta play him. You gotta play him.
Should have been playing him. Yeah. It's good IQ. He's making shots, but man, he looked horrible in the second half of that game. The reason why that second unit, the reason it bogged down was because IQ was just pounding the ball.
Yep.
He wasn't making quick decisions. And if you're pounding the ball, then you need to be a playmaker. You can't just pound the ball and throw up a bad shot or just have a turnover. It just doesn't make any sense. And but you were right on in the first half. The reason why that second unit was like really humming in the first half was because a lot of times it was RJ who was initiating the plays, making the plays, and IQ was just off the ball. So it's but that's pretty much it. And then Cam Reddish, I really like. He was really good. I think he's getting better. Even on defense, I'm kind of liking. Even like it seems like his technique is getting better on defense.
Yeah,
like getting over the screens and stuff. So honestly, I think he's with the right coaching, I do think he could be a really special player. But I think he just needs the coaching and more opportunity. And that's where the front office and this coach comes into play. Right now, they're just engaging in malpractice, in my opinion. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, Ryan, you said it, like, essentially he's not playing McBride because he needs to wait his turn. That is just ridiculous and absurd. I mean, sometimes, like, I think I said it before, but his kind of like, his philosophy, because he's so rigid with it, it makes him just look stupid sometimes. And he's looking like an idiot right now. He's got all these young players who are not going anywhere, and he doesn't want to play them, because he wants to play Alec Burke as a point guard. And honestly, Emmanuel Quickley, I just don't feel he's a point guard. I'm not, I don't hate Emmanuel Quickley.
I feel you.
I feel like, he just should be off the ball. It's like, and I remember when we were talking over the summer, like, I felt that same way. It was just like, it was weird. Although he was averaging like 7-8 assists in the summer league, the offense just wasn't running very well. It was only like the offense only ran properly when McBride was on the court, and so that was the thing during the summer league. But right now it's on a coach and a front office do what they have to do. I do think, like, I mean, it could go both ways, right? Like I was saying before, I think Tibbs, they, for their own sake, they need to get rid of him this year, because right now they're wasting the season.
Yep.
They have way too many people they need to evaluate that they need to consider signing next season.
Yep.
And it's like, and they don't know what they have in all these kids. And all of them look like are pretty talented. We have some talented young players, and we don't know anything about a lot of them because Tibbs just refuses to play them. So
yeah.
So for the sake of the franchise, they need to fire him, like, at the end of this year. They should have another sit down with him and say, look, dude, these are the people you need to play. You can coach however you want to coach them, but these are the guys you need to play. We need to get a look at these guys.
Absolutely.
It's just, it doesn't make any sense. And if they don't do it, if they wait into next season, the problem with, like, the front office waiting to next season is because they start to look incompetent.
Yeah.
All these people they traded for Cam Reddish, and you don't know what you have, and you're playing him like 13 minutes. He's not going to want to stay. Obi Toppin, if Tom Thibodeau is still the coach going into next year, you think Obi Toppin is going to want to stay with this team? Probably not. Especially if Randall is still on his team. Actually, that's like priority number one. They need to get rid of Randall. Like, I really don't like him at all. It's like, it's just, because he has no respect for the coach. He just does whatever he wants now. And it's just like, and you can just see it, He has no respect for the coach, doesn't have respect for anyone. He needs to be gone. He needed to be gone, like, to me, he should have been gone, like, before the deadline. I don't know. You can just move him for anything you want. They got, refrigerator, bag of basketballs, whatever you want. But you need to get rid of it. And so and number two is obviously Thibodeau, because if they don't get rid of him, then all the moves the front office made, it starts to look really bad, because they start to expire, and then you start losing players.
Yep.
And not get, like, adequate return for those players. And it's like, and it starts to feel like the same, like the Knicks of the last, 5-6 years, where we're drafting high, we're drafting all these lottery picks, and we don't know anything about them. Frank Ntilikina, you don't commit to him. And then, like, and so because you never committed and trained him properly, then he's a bust. And then, like, you got Kevin Knox, the same thing. He's a bust, although he's getting more burn in Atlanta. So you can't just keep doing this. You can't have Obi. Obi's a very dynamic player. You can't have him walk out the door. You shouldn't even trade him next year. It's a failure if they end up trading Obi Toppins. And so, it's just I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, man. It's rough, man. It's rough. This. Go ahead, man. It's rough.
It is really bad. If they don't trade, if they don't get rid of Thibodeau in the offseason, all their moves look really bad. And then there's a possibility they'll get fired. Everyone. The possibility at the end of next season, Dolan at that point will clean house. It's like all these moves start to look really bad. I mean, they're acting like Dolan. I mean, the guy likes basketball, you know. They act like he doesn't know anything about basketball and he doesn't know anything. So it's like it's if they want to play, if they want to roll that dice, they can. But I do have a feeling that they may try to bring Thibodeau back going into next season.
That's
and
what I
they'll probably
said.
try to do that because they're trying to it's almost like they're trying to extend their time with the Knicks because you don't want to hire too many coaches. You get maybe 2 cracks at a coach and that's it. And I think that's the only reason they may try to do that. Fire Thibodeau maybe halfway through next season. Make Johnny Bryant the coach kind of at your tryout. And then if they don't like Johnny Bryant, they can get rid of him and be like, oh, no, you just, he's not really our second coach.
Yeah.
And then they can hire someone else. So that could be the move they're trying to make, but it could backfire because I think all those moves, all the free agency moves and also all the players they traded for and their draft picks is just going to go stale. And they're not going to get an adequate return for it. And Dolan could clean house. So I think it could backfire if they try to do that.
Yeah.
They can do whatever they want, but it may not work.
Yeah, so, I agree on all points, man. Yeah. Daniel, thanks for calling in, Reaper. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah,
all right, thank you guys. Have a good night.
You too, man.
Yeah, Ryan G. I told you this before. The play-in tournament has kind of been like a false sense of security for us. The play-in tournament is great for the NBA and it makes the league more competitive. It makes people want to try more. But for a team like ours, where we're 12 games, are we 13 games now under 500?
We're 12 right now.
12 games under 500. What is the freaking point?
Exactly.
What is the point? So we sneak in 12 games under 500. Our team is still a under mediocre team if we make the play-in. So the long-term picture of this team doesn't benefit us to even play these veterans, play Taj Gibson, moreover Sims, or even chase this invisible carrot. Tommy Beer was here the other night, Mr. Stats and the Fact. I think he said we have a 5% chance of reaching up the play-in and a 19% chance of getting the top 10. So it's at that point, man, just here's the towel. Throw that jammy in, man. I'm ready to throw the towel in.
Exactly. And I think I'm at a point now with this team where, because when you look at the roster, I know we had that great season last year, made the playoffs as the number 4 seed and all that stuff. If you look at the roster as a whole, this team is nowhere near competing for the title. So to be honest about it, I wouldn't mind if the Knicks fired Thibs at the end of the season, go with a developmental coach, and just get a top pick from this year's upcoming draft, and just play that guy with the young piece that's already on the team, and see what you have with these guys, and then evaluate the roster from there. Because for me, if you're gonna keep Thibs here for another season, Thibs is not a developmental coach. Thibs is not going to be here to be I'm going to play these young guys, see if I can develop them, see what I have in them, and whatever the case may be. Thibs is going to try to win, and I feel like if you keep Thibs here for another season, the Knicks are going to just sign all these vets or try to make moves for vets that's going to try to help them win. And it's we're nowhere near competing for anything.
You know who Tibbs has been good for? Tibbs has been good for RJ.
Yeah.
I feel like he might have been bad for everybody else. He's been bad for everybody else, but I think he's been really good for RJ and possibly Mitch too. But everybody else, I don't know, man. I don't think he's been that good. He's been good for Randall for 1 year, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Everybody, the one thing that this front office has done well has been drafting, and it seems like our coach is kind of diminishing the one thing that we've done well. So
yeah.
I'm with picks for Timmy. Time to apply pressure, man. It's time to apply pressure. But salute to everybody in chat. Shout out to picks for Timmy, Rodney Sannon, Sang Freud, Big Reaper. Everybody else is rocking with the KOT show. If you like the show so far, please hit the like button and subscribe button. And also be sure to comment as well. And the other thing I really want to talk about is Mitchell Robinson, man. Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson has been complaining that he has not been getting the ball. He got the ball today. RJ Barrett found him a few times for a few lobs. Give you 10.7 rebounds, and a block. And I'm not going to lie. It's money time. Clyde mentioned it earlier. He was like, it's money time for Mitch. I seen some rumblings on like Knicks Reddit about how they feel like Mitch doesn't really compete against the top centers in the league. And, you know, I kind of feel like it's a little bit unfair. It's a little bit, even though I do feel like he's fallen back into some bad habits recently. But I do like how I feel like he recovered today. You know what I mean? Like, the reason why we really lost this game was the stars. He did an admirable job, you know, playing defense. But then that third quarter, Embiid is hitting fadeaways and threes. Like, what are you going to do once Embiid is hitting fadeaways and threes? You just kiss it up to God after that point. But, yeah. Exactly. So I was just really looking for Mitch to play solid defense and not foul. And it seemed like towards the second half of that game, he started not to, you know, foul. He started not to bite on those pump fakes. And he played solid defense. And I just need you guys to remember, don't just look at these last 3 games and go, oh, Mitch isn't worth it. There was plenty of games where Mitch saved us by himself because he was punishing these other centers. And he was getting huge rebounds on the offensive side of the ball. I think number 7 in the league in offensive rebounds. That's all I got to say about Mitch. Canal says, pay that man, pay Mitch, and I'm with you. Pay that man.
Yeah, and I wholeheartedly agree because people want to put out the complaint that Mitch struggles against the top-tier centers in the league. I mean, if you look at it, how many top-tier centers are there in the league? There's very few. Mitch dominates the majority of centers that he goes up against in the league. If Mitch doesn't do well against 3 or 4 centers in the league, I'm cool with that. As long as he dominates the other 20 centers.
Exactly.
So to me, it's like, yeah, people want to complain about him not dominating and beating players like that. Like, yo, nobody's going to dominate against Embiid. Let's be real about it.
That's a fact.
You know, like, nobody's going to dominate. And guys like Jokic, like, these guys are just going to dominate anybody they go up against. So if Mitch can dominate the other centers in the league that he's supposed to dominate, I'm still paying him money. Damn. Because he still does well against the majority of the centers in the league.
Exactly. And he's still only 23 years old. So give that man some little bit more time to cook. He worked his way back from, you know, gaining weight, putting on too much muscle. He started performing a little bit better. I mean, he beat back a little bit with the fouls, but I think he's going to be fine. Mitch is absolutely going to be fine, and the Knicks need to do the right thing and pay that man. He said, I'll pay Mitch for Ayton. I mean, it's Ayton. Stop, man.
First of all, Phoenix would not accept that trade.
Right, like, duh, trade Mitch for Ayton, but come on, man. Like, is Phoenix trading Mitch for Ayton? Like, no. That's just crazy. Picks with Timmy says this is Mark Berman's time to shine. This is Mark Berman's time to shine, yo. This is Mark Berman's yo, man. And shout out to hold on. For you guys, I'm gonna put this in the chat, okay? So as you know, Tommy Beer was here the other day, and he did a great job. He chopped up the videos and posted it. Listen, I posted. I'm about to put a link in the chat for those of you guys who are in Twitter. I want you to comment and tag this post I'm about to put on right now. I'm about to pin this bad boy too. That is the Twitter post. That's the Twitter post of the Tommy Beer episode, and it's clipped on Twitter. And if you want us to get another Knicks media person here, I want you to tag that Knicks media person in this post. that I'm putting in the chat. Okay. All right. So there you go. If you want Ian Begley, if you want Alan Hahn, if you want Fred Katz, if anybody like want Monica McNutt, because I already know Roy wants Monica McNutt. All right, tag them, tag them in that post. All right, and we're gonna try our best to get more NY media guys here to talk with us live on the KOT shows. All right. All right. So salute to you guys. Salute to Craig. I haven't seen you in a minute, Craig. Salute to Nick him up. He says, at this point, if Rose is not here, start RJ at the point and play Cam at. Ayo!
Yeah, I mean, it's worth a shot.
I'm with you there. RJ is playing point anyway. Listen, man. If you're looking at how we're losing these games before, like, we had no offense. We had no offense when RJ went down, and you can see how much he's missed because he's somebody who's able to go into pick and roll and create out of that more consistently than anybody else we have on his team. Before, it was just pushing. That's it. Before, it was just pushing. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I would definitely like RJ. I would definitely be good. I'd be here for it, man. I'd be here for RJ at point guard, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, same here. Because to me at this point, it's like, why not? I mean, you're having the offense run through him the majority of the time anyway when he's on the court, so might as well run him at point guard and see what happens.
Yeah, and I'm liking the way Cam is handling the ball and getting to the basket with ease too. The way his finishes are crafty. Somebody said, "What about Ash? If you want to tag Ash, go ahead and tag Ash." I don't care. People think I have a beef with Ash. I have never had beef with Ash. That is hilarious. But anyway, yeah, man, that is our show. Yeah, next show will be Friday. Late night. Late. So technically it might be Saturday because I feel like the show might start at like midnight. But we're going to be here. And I think it's Friday, Phoenix?
I believe so, yeah. I think it's Phoenix.
So
I got to check the schedule.
Tune in for the Elfrid Payton revenge game. All right? Because you already know what's happening. I think CP3 is out. So Elfrid Payton's been getting a little bit more burn. So hopefully we sick McBride on Payton. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be fun.
That would definitely be fun. We lost our office ever since Woody went to coaching in NCAA. Interesting take. Bring back the sister you started with. Kathy? Yo, listen, Kanal. Kathy not being here is not because of me. I'll just Kathy is always welcome back. And Kathy knows this. Yeah. So Kathy being back is up to Kathy. Alright? Alright. That is our show. You know what it is? Alright. You know, Ryan, let them know where they can find you, Ryan.
You can find me on Instagram at Sir G is Chillin'.
Sir G is Chillin'.
That's SIRG is CHILLIN. You can also find me at Sir G's Corner. I will start the videos soon enough. I've just been busy lately. And you can also find me on Twitter at RyanGKOT.
All right. You already know where to find us. You can find us at the KOT show. Hold on, let me get to the little single screen here. You already know where to find us. So you can find us at the KOT show on Twitter. You can find us at the Nick of Time show on Instagram and Facebook. And you can also listen to us on all DSPs, SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher as well. All the links for all those places are actually in the description. So if you want to find any of those things, you can just go to the description and click on the links. You can find where to find us at. All right. Also get our snapbacks too as well if you want to. Shout out to people who's getting snapbacks and t-shirts and stuff. Been sending them out a little bit more lately. So shout out to you guys for supporting this show in that regard. All right. Alrighty then. Looking at these. whatever happened to Kathy. You know, life happens, man. People get busy. People have different shifting priorities. But Kathy's always welcome back.
Most definitely.
All right. That is our show. And as always,
shout out the Worldwide West. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
It's a mess out here. All right. That is our show. We out of here.